What's going on, everybody? Welcome to STK Roundtable, presented by STK Steakhouse. You can catch us on YouTube at Jack O'Hara TV. Like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're here with Mike Rallis, Tenille Dashwood. How do I introduce you guys? Pro wrestlers, YouTubers now with the new channel?
Oh man, I don't know if you can
travelers.
Yeah,
World travelers?
yeah. I don't know if you can just put one label on us. We're exploring right now.
Yeah, jack
We'll
of all
let you know.
trades, master of
Yeah,
none.
yeah, exactly. We'll get back to you on that.
Podcast guests now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we kind of have like a little bit of everything going on.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Which is exciting.
And you were telling me you guys just moved to Arizona 8 months ago.
Yep.
Which is crazy. From Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas twice a month. So I'm
Oh,
like going
really?
back and forth all the time.
Okay.
I love Las Vegas.
Yeah. I really liked Vegas and I liked living there, and I like it here too. It's debatable which I like more. Like, Vegas is great, and I like having the strip nearby. I don't go there that often when I live there, but the problem is it's kind of hard to get away from. There's not a lot to do outside of the strip.
It's very peaceful. Like Henderson, very
For sure.
peaceful. Centennial Heights is very peaceful, but like everything's right there.
Right.
And we were in
Strip, right?
Summerlin, right by
Summerlin's
Red Rocks,
great.
so it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
I love
yeah.
Summerlin.
Right. So definitely liked it there, but enjoying being here too. And
Phoenix is very relaxing. Like,
Yeah.
Even though, valet parking is bonanzas down there, like
Yeah.
it took us like an hour to park,
Yeah.
it's still very quiet and peaceful.
Right. That's true. There's definitely more laid back spots in the Phoenix area than Vegas. So we do like that.
And then you got your brother here too.
That's a big
which
thing.
Is a big thing, family.
Yeah, he's got almost 2-year-old son too. So my nephew Kendrick is kind of my best friend. So
Yeah.
Kind of. Like,
He's my
big
best
time.
friend.
Love the
Your
kids.
best
Yeah.
friend.
So that's been pretty cool being able to hang out with him
Yeah,
a whole
for
bunch.
sure.
And then how far away are you from your family?
They're
Are they all
they're
still
all
in Australia?
Yeah.
You're the only
It's
one.
just me
You're the
here.
black sheep.
Yeah. It's been like that for a long time, actually. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was started from when I was 19. I first moved overseas, so, it's been, how many years now? 14 years of, that now I just gave away my age.
15. You didn't quite give it away.
We'll do the math. in this.
How old am I again?
Yeah.
So it's been a long time now, being that far away from them, but we are trying to make an effort to see them more often and stuff. Yes.
So what did you order here?
Thank you very
Strawberry
much.
cobbler.
That's like dessert in a cup.
Really?
Which is obviously why I ordered it.
Yeah.
Graham cracker crust. Try it.
Yeah.
Don't forget one.
She's not really the type to get the real strong, bitter.
is-
I was
drink.
gonna
Strong.
say, like, by the end of this episode, what are we gonna be talking about here?
Whatever you want. Cheers. No one else is having a drink.
Cheers to the water.
Okay.
First
Yeah.
STK
Cheers.
show.
Yeah.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
Let's do it. This is so full, I'm gonna spill it.
So you said it was literally.
Oh, it's so good. Anyway.
Everything you remembered it was.
Oh yeah, just like Christmas in a glass.
She walked in, she knew exactly what she wanted. She's been plotting that
I like
all day.
STK,
Yeah.
and it's literally like my ultimate drink. It's like dessert in a cup, which is
Yeah.
Did you guys go to the one at the Cosmopolitan a lot in Vegas?
I had never been. She had.
I've been to that one last time with actually Danielle Monet,
Yeah.
AKA or FKA Summer Rae, and a friend of mine, Lizette, and then I've been to the one in Orlando a few times as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
I like it. Yeah.
On the topic, because I was going to ask you about Danielle,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously she's traveling all over the place too. We were trying to get her for this show too. Just didn't work out with scheduling. But were you guys friends like before you guys got into WWE? Because that was like one of your first like main level rivalries was Summer Rae and Emma, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you guys just slowly but surely became like really close.
Yeah, so we actually didn't know each other at all before I started. She was already there. It was just like back when it was FCW before
Yeah.
NXT. Like we're talking about the
She's
old
old school,
days, yeah. And it wasn't. She went up on the main roster, and then it was not too long after that I went up, and then not long after that Paige went up, and then so it ended up being the three of us kind of traveling. Like getting rental cars, staying at hotels, traveling around on the road a little bit together, and that's kind of where that whole relationship started. And it really just, we almost became like road sisters. Like we just did everything together, and then that carried on into like after I left, then just still doing appearances, doing shows, traveling, and the whole thing of like now she has a lot of the travel. It's like that all started with us doing stuff, I think, and now we're just doing our own thing. So yeah, it's a long going storyline, that one. It's a real life.
And that's crazy too, because that could go one of two ways. It's either like you're on the road with someone so long that you eventually just know everything about them, and
Yeah.
it's like your sisters,
It's
or
like
you just
family,
like
yeah.
absolutely can't stand each other.
Yeah.
Well, that too sometimes.
Yeah. And
I mean, there's
naturally.
been plenty of times where like we've like just had a little go at each other as if we're family. Like,
Yeah.
stop doing that, or don't talk to me like that. Like the little like banter, but no, we're pretty good for the most part.
And did you have a road husband?
You know, I never had like a real steady
Right.
partner in crime on the road. Like obviously with Corbin, I did
Yeah, it's
for
Corbin
quite a
did.
while there, and we had a great time. And I actually was riding a bit with Boogs before
Yep.
that, and God, what a character he is. He's just such an extreme guy. Like I always tell that this is the best way to summarize how extreme he is. At one point in his life, he was like the biggest coffee snob ever, and I don't know a ton about coffee, but he had like a very specific type of brewing machine, and he got the exact right kind of beans and did it the right way, filtered the water the correct way.
Like on the
and
road?
then no, at home. But then at one point he decided, I'm sick of this, and he went straight to instant coffee. Like there was no in between. He didn't like just get like, all right, let's do it a little bit easier, but still get the good beans. He just went straight to instant coffee. But anyway, when he got hurt, then it was just me and Corbin, and yeah, we had a great time. We had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot too. Early in my career, it was now FTR, you know, the Revival,
Yep.
that really took me under their wing and kind of showed me the ropes. And man, we had a lot of fun in that car, and it got heated at times too.
I'm sure.
But we had a lot of fun.
It's just one person. You're not always going to get along. You know,
Yeah,
there's going to
yeah.
be differences. And
So-
you guys are driving all over the place, right?
Yeah, well, in NXT, I mean, it was like every weekend we'd have 3 shows, and sometimes they'd only be like an hour away, but sometimes they'd be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, if you have 3 shows and it's an average in a couple hours each way, that's 12 hours a weekend. So if my math is correct, I don't know. Check that for me. But yeah, it's a lot of time in the car, and then that's just in the car. You're also at the show, setting up the ring, tearing it
You
down.
spend a lot of time
putting
with the
matches
people
together.
you work with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
if you
sure.
love what you do, it's not work, and then they just become your family.
That's
Yeah,
it.
right?
I think it was like, you know, you'd have your frustrations, but the way I looked at it was like, we're here, like, let's enjoy the whole, like, I enjoyed setting up the ring. And we'd do stupid stuff, like we would race each other to try to set it up faster and break it down faster, and then get frustrated at someone for not helping enough, but then go right back to joking around. Yeah, it was a fun time.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, looking back at it now, like there's probably so many cool little instances that you guys had, and then eventually you guys meet. Like, how does that work? Whether it's like backstage work, like because you said like working, you got to learn to love the people that you work with, and you're around them all the time. How did this happen?
The 2 of us?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a long time in there where we weren't obviously anything more than friends. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, I think we've timed it out at roughly 8 years
Yeah.
of just being friends. And the originally,
At the start, yeah.
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 And originally what happened was, and I hate that they love that I give them credit for this, but I hate that I have to, but the iconic duo.
Oh yeah.
Jess and Cass.
Jess and Cass.
Good friends of both of ours.
Yes. So they suggested to me that they thought Tenille and I would be good together. And
I didn't know about this
right.
at the time.
The way they pitched her to me was not good, though. They were like, "Oh, she's like independent. She won't need you, and like, you know, like,
Okay.
you hardly even see
That's
her. You
honestly
won't
a
spend
lot
time."
of green flags.
Yeah.
Those are a lot
Yeah,
of green
right.
flags.
You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about her.
I was like, okay, I see what you guys are going for, but like, I want someone who's like a little bit warm and maybe kind of likes me or
Yeah.
something. But anyway, then it kind of didn't go anywhere for a while until she caught wind that they thought this should happen, and then she slid into my DMs.
Yeah, you love that part.
Yeah. So
I
she
was
initially slid into my
interested then,
DMs.
like, why did they think that? So then I was kind of curious, like, what is there to like about him? So yeah, I slid in the DMs, okay, and that's where nothing came of that. All right, you keep going. Jeez, nothing really came of it at the time.
No, but then eventually what caught my attention was she was traveling around kind of like the Northwest,
Yeah, I had a van.
West
I
Coast
was
area.
kind of like living in the van and traveling around and just kind of like documenting it.
Going to a lot of national parks,
Yeah,
like
just, like,
seeing
some really
wildlife,
sweet
beautiful
stuff.
scenery,
Yeah.
and like I was kind of like a wannabe traveler and wildlife guy. Like I claimed I loved it, but I didn't really take any definitive steps towards actually enjoying any of it. So when I saw her doing it, I was just like really intrigued by it, and
So then he dropped in my DMs,
I slid back. It was
slid back
the
in
backslide.
the DMs, and that's when he was just chatting about the travels and all this stuff I'm doing, and I was kind of like, is he for real? And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting if he likes all this stuff as well, and it kind of just started from there. It was like the
Yeah.
conversations, just it was so easy and it kept going, and then after like a few months or so of chatting, we kind of like both wanted to get together, and he took a while, but
I
the-
developed.
That's a good thing.
I
to the
developed
point where I
fully.
was like, is he gonna ask me or not? Like, I'm about to peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he
Slow
finally
play.
asked me to dinner and a movie one night or something. I was like, all right, here we go. And then basically that was it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is that like a healthy first date? Just like dinner and a movie, nothing special.
Yeah, I
you
think
don't want to
so.
go above and beyond.
Yeah, it was. The funny thing is, we went to one of those. We saw like Scream 5 or something like that.
Fantastic.
Whichever
Horrible
one was.
movie to see.
But it was one of those. I forget what they call it now, like 4DX maybe or something like that,
Yeah,
where
that's
it's like
right.
it was like a roller coaster ride, and it was like I don't know if you've ever been to one of those where like
I
the
don't think
seats
so.
moving around. It gets pretty wild at times, like and especially with like the Scream is like all about the jump
Yeah.
scare. So like you'd just be watching the movie and then all of a sudden it would just
It's
be
like
like
you're at a theme
throw you
park.
forward, and
Oh
so
my
like
God.
It's not enjoyable at all.
Yeah.
Like
So-
I was literally sitting
Great
there like,
date.
why
Yeah.
did we?
Great
It
date.
was,
Why did we do this?
It was a bit interesting for a first date, but it kind of made it funny and stuff. So,
Oh,
yeah, overall, I think it was a good first date. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we kind of joked about. We started spending time together, like, oh, let's just take it slow. We don't have to like spend every minute with each other. And then we basically just spent every
As soon
minute
as we
with
said
each
that,
other.
we just like.
Like
yeah.
it was nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just easy.
Yep.
Yeah, we're both in a good place, and we kind of knew what we wanted, and yeah, that was it.
So how do, building a relationship like this, how does that work when on the road?
Well, so funny thing is, we kept thinking like, all right, we won't see each other here for a few
Yeah.
weeks now, so like this will kind of be a little bit of a test in that regard. And then like right when we said that, I went into this injury angle with Corbin, and I was like off the next 3 TVs, and we spent those next 3 weeks together, and we didn't have that time apart. And then, it was like when she came back to WWE, that was like a different type of test where it was like, okay, now it's like we're with each other 100% of the
Yeah,
time.
we were like, well, this is what's going to tell us if we're going to last, kind of thing,
Yeah.
because we're going to be with each other 24/7 on the road, driving, staying in hotels, at
Yeah.
work together. And so we kind of thought, well, I don't know, at least we're going to find out
Yeah.
if we're good together or not.
And I did think that was like, because I hear it from a lot of people where it's like having just a little bit of space sometimes is good, and like if you just take that away completely, it'll drive you crazy. And
Yeah.
so I just, I like to humbly think that I'm not necessarily different than anyone else, So I thought, well, this will be a test, and I was like, I wouldn't say worried about it, but aware that it could be an issue, and it just wasn't. So then we felt
when
pretty
you
good.
know
Yeah, it
you
was
guys were
like,
confident
yeah.
after
We're like, well, we were around each other 24/7 and it still works. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
So now, you guys just started, like literally just started this YouTube channel, right? Or at
Yeah.
least just launched it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and this will come out probably a week or 2 from now.
Okay.
But
yeah.
the guy I was coordinating with, Steve, is just like, make sure nothing comes out after the 22nd. I'm like, okay, that's probably like somewhere when they're probably launching that new show.
Yeah.
How long did this take to come together and everything that you guys are doing?
Well, I mean, obviously she's been doing travel stuff for longer than
Yeah.
me, but now together we've been doing some pretty fun, adventurous travel stuff.
I mean, almost right away.
Yeah.
I-
Well, I mean,
I-
the first one we did was almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we kind of just felt like this is something that we really feel passionate about doing. And even before our time with WWE ended, it was like, this is something we want to put more time into.
Yeah.
And we invested in getting like a nice camera so we could document it a bit in higher quality and take higher quality pictures and videos, both and we just like we're aware, like, you know, we don't know exactly what we're doing. We're not cameramen and camera woman, but we're just going to give it a shot because this is something we really want to do. And through it now, more and more trips have come about, including like our first episode. We are in Finland, which is like literally the North Pole almost, you know, and it's like we're just up in the middle of the wilderness in just like a total winter wonderland, and like riding husky sleds and reindeer sleds and horseback riding through the forest. It's like an unreal trip. I mean, sometimes I just like, I've never, before wrestling, I hadn't traveled hardly outside of the Midwest. And now it's like I've been to all these incredible locations, like all of, you know, just like look across the map, it's just all over the place. And it's a bit surreal at times, and we just felt like we need to document this.
Yeah, and I feel like for years I've had people saying to me like, oh my gosh, how did you find out about this place? Or
including
like,
me.
Yeah, well, that's how it started, right? And like, wow, that looks amazing, or I want to go there one day, or, you know, just asking questions like, where should I go? And so I just always had in my head like, I just want to like document this and like show people all these amazing places, and that's, so we wanted to kind of do that together and show a bit of like an insight into our lives, our relationship, and the, you know, the goofy guy he is, and yeah, just kind of have some fun with it. And there's things I've been doing for years is like working with hotels and tourism boards and traveling, and like, so like, why not, you know, make an opportunity of it and get it on TV and, you know, make a show of it.
Yeah.
Not TV.
Just try to maximize it.
People
though.
are saying, you know, like this, like they can picture this on TV, or they, you know, like this is, they've been waiting for us to do something like this. So that makes it even more cool, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to become addicted to. Like everybody will dub you a content creator.
Yeah.
And now it's just like it's what I'm doing right now, right?
Yeah.
It's like all you do. I was listening to your interview with Chris. We were talking about Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah.
Love you, Chris. I'm gonna botch this. The story about the monkey making eye contact with the monkey.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So I was in Bali with Danielle Summeray, and we'd gone to this monkey sanctuary, or I'm not sure, what do you call it, monkey forest or something like that, right? And it was near a hotel, and we went there for the day. And there's signs when you go in, like pretty detailed signs of like what not to do. And I'm thinking, just some monkeys, like they seem pretty fun, whatever, you know. So we're there just hanging out, and there's the monkeys just everywhere, and they come and like climb down and jump on your shoulder, and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're right there. And anyway, so there's one on this seat, and I said to Danielle, get a video of this. I just want to go like just sit with it, you know. So I go sit down, and I look at the monkey, and then it looks at me, and I went, oh no, I just made eye contact with the monkey.
Yep.
and then she's just filming away. And then my hand's sitting here, so I'm trying to look away, like pretend I didn't do it or something. And the monkey just like onto my hand, and then I go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So I'm trying to like be kind of calm, but also like a monkey's like biting, like fangs out, biting my hand. And you see, there's a video of it on my Instagram.
Oh, and she doesn't stop recording. She's just like losing it.
So I'm literally getting bitten and trying to get away without like making it more angry. And then I get away, and I'm like, like laughing but kind of nervous, like what just happened? And I'm like, did you just film that whole thing? Like, why didn't you help me? Like, why didn't you stop? And like, oh my gosh, she's just like laughing and still filming the whole time.
Yeah.
But I guess I was happy I had the video.
In the long run, she's a great friend for that.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, at least you got the video.
Got to get the content.
Was that like one of the more uncomfortable things?
For my travels?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was lucky it didn't like really break the skin. I was still worried, so I went and like cleaned it all after.
Yeah. So how many times specifically have you guys been to STK?
This is my first time, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Well, I hope we are either making or breaking your experience.
Yeah.
I've been, I don't know,
a few times.
5 or 6 times maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the best steakhouse in the area.
Okay.
In Vegas, don't know.
Yeah.
Here, there's a lot of good steakhouses in Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't been here yet, so this is good.
Yeah.
All right. We're off to a good start then.
Yeah.
We got the calamari here as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've had a few pieces. You have
Let me
He'll
try
eat
it.
the entire
See,
thing.
I don't.
You don't
I
like
eat
seafood.
seafood normally at all.
I don't know what this sauce is.
I can do calamari. I'll try some. I don't like the the all the tentacles and everything. That
tentacles, yeah.
scares me a little
You'll
bit.
do the rings though.
Is it super fishy?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Let's
Got a
see.
little bit of a fish.
No, I
See,
can
like
do that.
in the past, I've wanted her to try it, something seafood that I've had, and I'm like, it's not even fishy, I swear. And then she has it, like nearly spits it
Yep.
up, and like so.
Oh.
I'm really cautious about recommending any seafood to her because it's just she's very particular.
Just
this
3
one.
salmons.
Yeah, right.
No,
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Can't do salmon, but that's good.
Interesting.
What's like the most uncomfortable thing you've experienced, whether that be in the ring or traveling? I'm pretty sure I saw Drew McIntyre once, like Alabama slam you on your head once.
That was
and I
fun.
remember, like, I was actually watching that show, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god,
Yeah.
So was I.
because that's like, that's a career ender.
No, that was so. What happened was, well, obviously it was my mistake, and basically I should have just like really made sure I understood what I was supposed to do, and I didn't. And anyway, when it happened, I obviously knew like, well, that didn't go right.
Well, you're in like Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So on tour in Saudi Arabia, big match.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe.
Drew.
1,000 degrees.
Yeah. Not my. That one was inside, but it was hot outside. But it was towards the end of the match. I mean, I knew the move didn't go right, but I felt fine. And like right away, the ref Jess came to check on me, and she's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then she went back and talked to the back and said, "Yeah, he says he's okay." And then I saw her go, "Are you sure?" Like, they like were like,
It looked
check him a
brutal.
few times.
Yeah.
And I remember Corbin said that he was on the outside going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to finish this match.
Yeah.
What do I need to do?" And like, then I just like was fine, and we kept
I
going.
think
And
adrenaline kicked in.
yeah, well, I
well,
mean,
lucky you weren't injured after anyway, but
yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't. I had a sore neck afterwards.
Oh,
but,
like whiplash almost.
yeah, but it wasn't. There was no damage or anything, and
pile drive.
I know, like, I was on the outside and Drew was throwing me over the announce table or something, and I heard Corey Graves say, "I don't even know how he's walking right now." And I thought, maybe that was a little worse than I thought.
Yeah.
And then I got to the back and I was like, "Guys, I'm fine, I swear." And they showed me, like, the high def, like,
Oh, yeah,
slow,
like frame by
slow-mo,
frame.
by frame, where my neck just crunched. And I was like, all right, let's go check this thing out because that was nasty. And I
Yeah.
need to call my mom to make sure she knows I'm okay because, like,
Oh yeah.
that was disgusting. So in
Yeah,
the
seriously.
moment, it wasn't that bad. Afterwards, seeing
Looking at it, you're
I
like,
was
all right, I
"Oh,
gotta call the
geez."
relatives.
Yeah, that was.
Because that was like relatively like maybe a year after Big E's incident.
No, that was.
Or was it
I think it was
Less than
before.
that, right? I
like
don't
4
know.
months?
Yeah, I think it was within like a couple months. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
So
close. I
it
just
was,
remember
yeah,
that.
it was close. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, that was.
but you got lucky.
Yeah, I
for
got
sure.
lucky.
Like, because that was just, it could have been bad.
Yeah, and then it was like it ended up being like a reputational boost for me, you know.
Yeah.
But really, you know, I always, anytime I talk about it, I want to stress like, if I was hurt, it wouldn't have been cool or smart of me to go on and keep performing. Like, if you are hurt, it's not worth it. If you do have a
Yeah.
concussion, if you do have a neck injury where something isn't feeling right, like.
Yeah,
You
it
can
really
always
was
work,
just a freak thing
whether
that
it's
you were okay.
sport or
Yeah.
wrestling or whatever it is.
Totally,
like you
it's
can
not
always
worth it.
work around that injury, and it's not worth it. So,
I remember I was laughing before because obviously it was like a terrifying bump, but also I was in, where was I? I was in Dubai at the time, and
Yeah.
I'm messaging him, but I also didn't want to like take away from like how good the match was and how well he did. So my first message was like hell of a match, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and then I was like, by the way, are you okay? But then I thought, should I have asked that first? But I just didn't want to be like a negative first. I just
Yeah.
wanted to be like, it was awesome, and are you alright?
Yeah.
But then you were kind of like, you're not going to check on me?
yeah.
I was like, no, just wanted you to know it was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. By the way, that bump was kind of.
Oh, you sold that
yeah.
really well.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that was uncomfortable after the fact. I'm trying to think. There hasn't been a situation where I've been too uneasy. I haven't done. She's jumped out of a plane.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything like that.
you can
in
try it.
Finland,
You should
Finland,
try
I
it,
did
babe.
You
it.
haven't jumped out of
Yeah.
a plane
Yeah,
yet.
honey.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When's your turn?
Um,
Christmas present.
We did some rock climbing. That was fun.
Yeah, that's true.
It was difficult, but not too uneasy. I
Yeah.
did an extremely cold plunge in Finland in the frozen lake, so
Yeah.
check that out on the YouTube. Other than that, I don't know. Not too much rattles me. I'm a tough guy, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we got rattlesnakes out here going
Yeah.
a hike.
Well, I'll tell you what. So I recently took up hunting,
Nice.
and my first trip was in Minnesota, and I actually have another one coming up in Minnesota. And I got down onto the stand one night, and I'm kind of crawling down backwards, and behind me is like pretty dense woods. And where I'm at in Minnesota, there's no danger. But it's like southern Minnesota. I was thinking if I was anywhere where there was danger, this would be like a very intimidating thing to be climbing down in the pitch black, not seeing at all what's behind me until my feet hit the ground, and then I can turn around and look. So that would be a bit uneasy. And we got some pretty cool trips planned coming up, one of which will be deep into the wilderness to go. The only way you can get to this place is by seaplane. And we're going to go around some pretty intimidating
I'm pretty
animals.
excited about this
So,
because this is one that we've been planning for a little while. I knew that he would love this, so I kind of planned it. And then I was like, hey, by the way, are you cool with this? And he was just like, maybe that's probably the best possible trip I could go on.
Yeah.
So,
real excited for that
makes
one.
it like more special for me.
But we'll be maybe a bit uneasy at
Oh
times.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, just wait. There's another really uncomfortable one that she's planning right around the
Oh,
corner
for
after
sure.
this. Like
I'm
this
sure.
one's gonna be fantastic.
Well-
and then she's gonna be like, well, our next one is gonna be.
The thing is, she can kind of sneak them in on me because, full disclosure, she does a bit more of the planning, and she'll
Oh, a bit.
full
A
disclosure.
bit more.
she'll say
in case you didn't
she'll say
know.
like, oh, this hike's really cool, but like for all I know, we're gonna be walking up like an extremely steep cliff, which I think is maybe planned soon. So she keeps me on my toes in that regard.
Are you guys enjoying just traveling and not really
For sure.
being on like a hectic? I don't even know like how many days per week do you guys get off? Like 1 or 2 or
So you're saying when in
when in WWE, or
WWE.
just traveling all over?
Honestly, it can vary. Like recently, we've been probably more busy than we were towards the end of our time in WWE, just because we're doing a lot of different things right now, kind of exploring a lot of different categories where we're doing the travel stuff and then all of the, as you know, the editing and the voiceover work and stuff like that comes with that. I'm working on some health and wellness stuff with my brother, and we're gonna get that out soon, and that's like very time consuming because it's very in depth, and we want it to be good and high quality.
Of course.
And then my first love growing up was football.
Yep.
And if I didn't get into wrestling, I probably would have got into football coaching. And I've maintained being a fan, and I've always had that itch that I haven't quite scratched with it, like going in depth on it. And I'm really excited to start doing some analysis. And I don't know exactly where it's going to take me, but I'm going to start with the 2024 NFL draft class, so college tape. And I've started watching college tape on guys. And just being able to break down film in an analytical way where I'm not just watching as a fan has been really fun for me. All that to say, that's just the stuff I'm doing. She's maybe got even more on her plate. I don't know how much you want to talk about, but go ahead if you want.
There's just, I feel like I have a million thoughts and a million things at one time,
Yeah.
which is kind of great because it's like the creative energy is just flowing at the moment, you know? So obviously the YouTube, we've spent a lot of time on all our travels. And then going off that, I've actually launched a luxury travel concierge service. So where there's like a travel blog and a website, and also we'll be selling itineraries for destinations. All the things people have always asked me about, like where it is, how do I do it, and then even more into that, there's the option to get the custom itineraries. So for someone who's wanting like a full service plan, everything for them, that's something my company is going to be offering.
Nice.
And even more of that, there's the next step is group travel. So I'm going to be hosting some group travels to destinations around the world. So yeah, the opportunity for people that have watched or want to travel or need a bit of like a kick in the butt to
So that's gonna be like
book
open
it.
to anybody.
Yeah. Yep. So those are things that are on the website. it's I can give you the website
Yeah,
to put up.
yeah.
But yeah, those are all things that are kind of all happening at one time with the YouTube, and then kind of flowing off of that.
And the best thing about all of this is that you guys are in complete control of everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
It's up to you,
It's
right?
really, I mean, I feel right now that I'm busier than I've been in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like it's been super easy, but it's been
But it's
very
all stuff you
enjoyable.
wanna do.
Exactly.
Very rewarding and fulfilling.
100%.
Things that we love, are very passionate about, and that we've wanted to do kind of for a long time. And instead of having them on the back burner or thinking like we'll get there eventually, it's like let's just do them now
Yeah.
and like make the most of it. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
They're
it's like,
passion projects, and they also ideally all make you money at the
yeah,
same time.
Yes.
you know, and like for sure, ideally they do.
Yeah.
But at this point, like I'm kind of just like, because when I was in wrestling, it was very much like theoretical and what could make me money if I started to do this. And then now it's kind of like all of this energy that I've been thinking about all these different things I could do has kind of just been unleashed and released, and like I'm just kind of throwing everything at the wall, and like I hope it's all very successful, but at the end of the day I'm enjoying what I'm doing,
Yes.
and like that's a reward for me in and of itself.
So when you guys left, was it more of like a sigh of relief at that point? Like obviously there's probably things where you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like this just time around for whatever reason. But at the same time, you're like, well, now I have
Yeah.
time to do
Yeah.
exactly what I
Yeah,
want to do.
definitely.
So yeah, I mean it was like I loved my time there, and like I wouldn't trade it for anything else that I did. I mean it was such a fun way to make a living,
Yeah, of
and like
course.
such a fun thing to do, to interact with people. Both, I mean, I
And this
met.
was like my childhood dream was to wrestle. Like,
Yeah.
since I was 13
You
years
were
old.
doing it since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
so,
and like I grew up loving wrestling, and
Amazing.
like to be in a WWE ring doing those things was like surreal, and you know meeting my old heroes, and then
Oh,
like
yeah.
so many lifelong friends, my soon-to-be wife. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything, But
Yeah.
at the same time, it was. There's so, like we've mentioned, there's so many things that we're interested in, so many things we like to do, and it was a little bit at the end, like I kind of want to start to do some of this other stuff, and that's like nothing against wrestling, but it was just like a bit
We're just
limiting in what else we could do.
Ready to like just put our focus and energy into these other things we want to do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, what's it like? Because obviously there's people that get red hot and they're like in the main event scene, main event scene, mid card, whatever, right? You guys, I feel like we're both in a position where it's like getting out wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because, like you said, like traveling from, Vegas to LA, back and forth, like WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, it's nuts, but like how much more of a wreck would that be like if you were like main eventing the show?
Yeah.
And then having to like deal with all the press and everything like that, where it's like you guys were just kind of like, for lack of a better term, kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
Where it's like leaving here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Right. It
Well, in
becomes
saying that, we did do the media tour in Detroit.
at the last one, the SummerSlam.
We did a lot of media for that.
Yeah.
Really?
it
Chris was
was
there, I think, right? Van
Uh,
Vliet?
I think I
yeah.
saw him there.
I think he was
Actually,
there.
I might have been at a show with him. I can't remember now.
I'm sure he
It's all
was there.
blur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have seen him somewhere.
There was another one of my buddies, Adrian Hernandez, who's a Vegas guy, was there as well.
Okay.
There's probably a ton of interviewers. I have no idea.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, you never want to be in a place where you're doing something just for the paycheck.
Yeah.
And if you're, like when I was in the best time of my run as Madcap, there was a lot of creative fulfillment. There was a lot of enjoyable moments throughout that run, and like it makes the stuff where you're all the travel and stuff worth it to you. And like, yeah, at the end of it, when you're not really getting much of that at all, and it kind of just becomes for the paycheck, which I think there's some benefit to just kind of looking at it that way, so you don't drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just I think it's not the most fulfilling,
Yeah, it's not
rich way to
fulfilling.
go about
And I
life.
think we know we how much we want to contribute or wanted to, and like how much we have to offer too. So when you have that kind of mentality and you're not, able to do as much as you'd like, then it does get, a bit of a mental thing where you're like, I could be putting this energy I'm ready to, put my energy and focus into something that is going to give back or is fulfilling or
Yep.
and stop stalling on the thing, it's like
Yep, and I think like
let's make the most of it while we're young.
Yeah, that's
Young,
true.
right?
I mean, like wherever we're at in life, whether we're young or not, depending on which perspective you look at, like why waste any time of your life?
Yes.
Everyone has limited time here, and I think it was really the first time in my life where I truly felt like I don't want to waste time. Just like money's great, it does a lot of things that are very helpful to one's life. So I'm not trying to downplay what money can do, but like I don't want to do something just for money and waste the limited time that I have here.
Yeah.
So just to get a little bit deep real
Amen.
quick here before
Hey.
we eat some of these mini burgers.
I just left a job today.
Burgers.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
look at this.
Yum.
Those look great.
Thank you.
These are like the best mini
Those
burgers
mashed-
I've ever had.
Thank you.
If you guys want to dig in. Here, I'll bring this one
Yeah,
over here.
sure. Let's slide these menus around.
Like, by far and away. Like, I've had a ton of sliders in my day.
Okay.
But
These
these are great.
These are the real deal.
These are good. They're like, I'm big. How am I gonna do this? Need like a napkin, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. These are fantastic. But, yeah, I left the job today for the same reason. I keep telling myself, I'm like, regardless financially, like in my situation, I'm like, I'd rather make less money now doing what I love than
Thank you.
Nice.
make a ton of money
Yeah.
doing something I have no passion for, right?
For sure. I think like you just, as long as you're aware of what you're doing, like you don't want to make it a decision, hastily or out of emotion and not
Oh, yeah.
realize the consequences of what you're doing. But as long as
Absolutely.
you're aware that you're going to be losing that money that you've been used to getting or something like that, I don't think it's worth it to waste time just for money.
Yeah.
That's
Not at all.
that's what I've for sure come to believe.
I'm very much, I think even more than he is, very much like a person that's like, just do it now. Like all these ideas and things I want to do, like I just want to do them. I don't want to wait. I'm kind of impatient, but maybe to a fault sometimes. Like I'm like right away, have to do
Partially in your brain, you're thinking, like, I'm never going to get around to this.
Yeah.
it. Exactly.
Well-
I hate that idea.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
just
I
gonna
think
do
that's something that I realized with the travel. I think with your help is like, I always had I didn't even realize it, but I was telling myself in the back of my head, like, I'll do that cool travel stuff when I'm done with this wrestling stuff. And like, if that's your attitude, there's always going to be something that you're just putting in front of the thing that you want
Yeah,
to
then
do.
what if something happens and you can't do it when you thought
Right.
you would, and then you just never know.
And I think like earlier you asked how often she gets to see her family, how close they are, and like that was another thing. Like we didn't want to not see her family.
Yeah, we're sacrificing
whenever
like the things that are really important to us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would go to Australia like once a year if I was lucky. And like my nieces and nephews are growing up and I'm not seeing that or part of that, and like, and my best friend's there and her kids, and I'm just like so far away from all of
Yeah.
them. And I have literally just my friends are spread out around the country, and then I have Mike obviously, but it's like, well, I could be going back there more often and spending time with them and making that a trip and whatever, incorporating that into like our regular lives.
Yeah.
As opposed to hopefully I get back there this year,
Yeah.
It's just like a horrible feeling.
Where now it's like wide open.
Yeah.
If I want to
Yeah.
go back, I can go back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is kind of like, it's almost crazy to think about that for me. Like,
Is there like a part of you that's just like, do I have something to do this week? Like,
yes,
no, I
all the
don't
time.
have anything.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
We have a million
It's
things
kinda,
to do.
but we do have those things
Of
to
course,
do, like
of
we
course,
said.
like
but
little tedious
but
things,
yes, it's really, because even before wrestling, I just played football in college and stuff, where I wasn't like, I always had responsibilities where I couldn't just pick up and go somewhere, and it's just, I kind of have to keep reminding myself, like, it's just weird, we don't have any anything holding us back from doing anything it is that we want to do.
It's like your own things that you set previously are the only things in your way
exactly.
now, right?
Yep.
What's the transition from football to pro wrestling like? So University of Minnesota, right? I saw all the Meet Your Gophers interviews from like, a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
To meeting Jim Ross and getting a WWE try. Like why? Because you said you grew up watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, it was always something like maybe in the back of your mind that you wanted to do.
Yep.
Because there was a quick transition from, football. I think it was like 2013 is when.
Yeah, the
right?
same year I got a tryout with the Miami Dolphins. I was on their practice field in mini camp, and then I don't know, 5 months later I was in a WWE ring, which was like, even if nothing worked out, that's a pretty cool year.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was something that I never really considered doing because it was just, I didn't really know much about how you became a pro wrestler. Whereas like football was very mainstream and obvious, like you just play high school football, then college football, then NFL. And
Yeah,
that was
that's true for wrestling from any perspective. It's not really clear like how you do it,
right.
especially coming from Australia. But anyway,
Yeah, no, and you know,
but you were a wrestling fan.
I was yeah. I mean, I think
you loved wrestling.
other than football, that was like the thing that my brothers
Right.
and I did. We
Yeah.
loved wrestling, and I kind of, when I got busy in college, football, and I kind of fell out of touch with wrestling. But then when I got done playing my senior year, I was just training for the pro day at Minnesota, which is like the combine. But that was really all I was doing, and I had a lot of time on my hands, so I got back into wrestling. And when football, the opportunity kind of came and seemed like the door was closing on that, I kind of went, I actually read an article about WWE looking for people like me, and it quoted Jim Ross in it, and just saying, there's all this whole group of athletes, college athletes, who have now thought they had this potential job opportunity, and it's no longer there for them, and they're good athletes, but they don't know what to do next, and we would love to bring those guys in and kind of mold them in our style of pro wrestling. And so when I read that, I thought, like, I think I can do that and probably be pretty good at it. And so I reached out to JR just publicly on his website, and he ended up emailing me back and giving me a call.
Which is crazy in
yeah,
itself.
it's just like, I just took a shot. It's just like, hey, this is my
That's so
stats,
lucky.
and yeah, everything. Do you guys want to order something?
Gonna order?
New York strip?
The New York strip.
Yeah.
And I'll do the fillet, please.
I'll grab that drink.
Thank you.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Mike,
no.
on video. Was that on video?
Yeah.
We're gonna keep that in.
Let's put that in.
We're gonna keep that in. I'm keeping that
use
in.
that.
I'll post this reel and then tag you in it later.
That's so good.
Yeah, those are the best things to catch on camera.
I missed the first bit of what you said.
I was just saying that like once you guys kind of like get into like all the content creation stuff, and maybe even like get into like the interview portion, or at least like having people on like your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's like you start planning things all on the same day.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
see
that
like,
makes
sense.
oh, does Thursday the 14th work? Like, and like 4 people will say yes. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna have to plan these
Yeah.
out.
Gotcha.
I'm just spending my entire Thursday at STK, I guess. Worst places to be. I love
Yeah.
steak.
For sure.
No, yeah, that makes sense. It's a smart way to do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What was, since Cassidy botched the camera right there, what was like, because that's like a term used in wrestling is botching instead of
Yeah.
like messing up. What was both of yours worst botch in pro wrestling?
For me, it was for sure. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's a more lighthearted, embarrassing one. I'll have to put some thought into that. When in just a small NXT show in Largo, Kenta and I were not on the same page, and I thought I was going for a power slam, and I think he thought we had talked about doing both, so he thought he was I was going to catch his crossbody, so he kind of jumped into me, and I just drove him right on his head, and he ended up breaking his neck. So like that was like that haunted me. I never did the move again. Like obviously, I got a lot of Twitter hate for that, and but they're somewhat deservedly so. Maybe not the most extreme comments, but yeah, that one was like bothered me for a really long time, because like you just, that's the worst thing that could happen, and it does happen, so you can't beat yourself up too much, but like you just never want to injure someone. You know, they're giving you their body and they're trusting that you're going to take care of them, and just the worst thing that can happen is it goes wrong.
You never want that to happen, obviously. Thank
There
you.
you go.
You got a good one?
Here's your drink.
No,
just kidding.
Yeah, that's all you. I'll try to think of an embarrassing one,
I'm
but
trying to
nothing
think of
comes
like my
to.
botches. I mean, you just reminded me of like when I dislocated my shoulder, but that wasn't necessarily a botch per se. It was just a freak accident kind of.
Was it kind of like well hidden on camera, and then afterwards?
It was on a live event. It wasn't even.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
It's not even worth
it
it.
should have been on TV.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get injured, right?
There was one that it wasn't like a horrible botch, but it was just kind of a funny story where that.
Are you telling my botch?
No.
I'm like, what do you know about my botch?
Jess and Cass know this story because they were in the film room when we analyzed it with Terry Taylor. But I had this. I still don't know to this day what it was exactly, but I had some sort of chest injury where I dislocated a rib or cracked my sternum, maybe even. I never got it checked out, but it was very painful. And I caught Roderick Strong in a crossbody, and it just like really tightened up, and I kind of just like I was gonna fall away slam him, but I just kind of like fell over with him, like a really bad world's strongest slam. And Terry Taylor was sitting there breaking down for like 5 minutes about why I should just do my signature moves, not this new move that I was trying out, which the fall away was a signature move of mine. So then when he got done at the end of it, he was like, you like just do your signature moves. And I was like, well, actually, Terry, I was planning on it.
That was my move.
I just couldn't do it. I just failed in my signature move. And he was like, oh, that was, I was like, I was trying to do the fall away slam. And he says, that looked more like the fall over slam.
Yeah.
And Jess and Cass thought that was hilarious. So they still give me crap to this day.
Full over slam?
Yeah.
Are they as animated, just as themselves, as they were on camera?
Yeah, I mean, they tone it down a little bit,
Yeah.
but they're just as goofy and annoying and all that.
Annoying.
Yeah, the most annoying people in the world.
They hate you, dude.
No, they
and
love
my
me.
friends, not yours anymore.
They
Yeah.
love me. And they love that I call them annoying.
Right.
They love
Everybody
it.
loves to
I'm
be
gonna
called
eat.
annoying.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, have the last one.
Who doesn't love being called annoying? I do.
Who was the most annoying person in the locker room that nobody would suspect is actually really annoying? In like the best possible way that someone could be annoying.
Well, I mean, does anyone come to mind for you? When you talk about a very good annoying, I didn't even really find him annoying, but I could see how others would, is Sami Zayn. I don't think that's going to surprise anyone,
yeah.
but I find him incredibly entertaining, but he'll analyze just the smallest little thing, you know what I mean? Just the way in which we
you love that.
walk into the lock. Of course, I love engaging in those conversations, and sometimes they get really deep, but sometimes we're really just analyzing the way they set the forks out at catering or something like
really?
that, you know, and it's just like he can go on and on about a topic, and then he's also just all over the place, you know, his brain will take him to somewhere else, and just a true real life character. That guy. Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody finally saw it through the whole like honorary Oos stuff.
Yeah.
Where like he was just making everybody crack up on camera, on TV.
Yeah.
Like the whole Oosie
He's
thing.
very talented.
He's a very good actor, and he can do the serious stuff. But I think with that stuff, you got to see a side of him that's very real to his real life personality, and where he can be just kind of goofy and quick talking, and you know, just trying to smooth things over with people and stuff like that. I agree. I think it really got to come out in that storyline, which, you know, was great to see for him.
So who was your most annoying? You said you didn't even
come on.
want to share? This is one of those things that we have to cut out later.
Yeah, go after someone here.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
I haven't thought about it for you. You can't pin this on me though. Just
So I'm going to bury some other people first when I say this. But I watched a video, and it was Chelsea and Sonia, and they were talking about who the most annoying person in the locker room was, and they said Natty, Natalia, and I had to laugh because I know this is it's like something that it's kind of like a bit of a joke, but yeah, Natty is a character. Let's just put it that way. So I don't even know where to start, but it's just like every time you see her, there's like a whole spiel and everything that goes with it, and it's just like, that's just Natty, you know?
Yeah.
So it's funny that they say that, but I think, yeah, if anyone would pick someone, it would be Natty.
Again, a very
And I love
animated
it.
person.
In a good way.
Yeah, I'm saying in a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
Tyson seems like he's very like chill too.
He can. It depends. He is chill, but if you get him going on a topic, he can get very
he can
animated
go-
too.
he can
He
go
gets
hard,
into it.
yeah.
Yeah, we've had some good conversations about wrestling or old wrestling stories or sports. He loves basketball, so like
yeah.
he's an easy guy. Him and Dawkins will get into arguments about
Oh,
LeBron,
yeah.
and it'll get animated in there.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Those guys seem awesome too. The Street Profits.
Oh yeah. I honestly, all the people we're talking about, I'm like,
they're great people.
I didn't have issues with
And that,
really.
like
anyone.
it's a cool play. Like even at its absolute worst for you guys, like I feel like you guys are just surrounded by so many different, like quote unquote characters.
Yeah.
To hang
Well, I
around
mean,
and have cool conversations.
For
with.
sure. I mean, that's pro wrestling attracts that, of course. But the thing that's different than like in a football locker room is a football locker room. You do get a lot of different backgrounds and people coming together, which is really cool. But like the diversity in a wrestling locker room where it's like this, I'm a football player from America, but then there's this guy who's just been pro wrestling his whole life from Canada, and then there's like this, basketball player from overseas, and someone from Japan and Australia, and like, different. I mean, I remember in NXT there was like a bobsledder. There was like all these different types of athletes and backgrounds and stories, and like I remember in the locker room one time I was just like, there's like 7 different countries represented of the 15 people in here, and it's just like, and like you said, everyone's animated and kind of crazy, and so yeah, it's a fun time.
For both of you guys, you started way younger, but you're coming from football where like training, conditioning, everything is just like to the nth degree. But then transitioning and going to say like the performance center and training for the first time, what's the wear and tear on your body like? Like how do you feel the next day after like that first WWE workout? Is it different from anything you did in football?
So I liked that aspect. It attracted me to the performance center, that it was something similar to what I was used to, that a structured program that they took seriously, all the athletic and training stuff. The first workout in ring is definitely different. I remember when I did my tryout, we just did a lot of rope running, and like my back was torn up.
Yeah.
It's like you pretty quickly build a callus on your back, but when you first hit the ropes, like you are busting up your skin bad. And so like I was bleeding on the bed sheets and stuff like that at the hotel. And then like
extreme.
yeah, I mean we did that. The first tryout I did was like kind of a disaster. There's only 5 guys in it, and the other 4 were not in shape, and so we didn't get that advanced into
Just constantly running ropes.
yeah, we just ran ropes a lot, really. And man, I was cruising the day 1, and then day 2 I was just like, oh my god, because I like had that sore on my back.
It does,
then,
yeah.
And
Especially
then
when
like
you haven't
bumping,
done it in a while or you're new to it. Yeah.
bumping's a different kind of soreness than anything you've ever done before. It just kind of like
Yeah, you
knocks
get, like,
your ribs
tight
around.
breath,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
your
it's
neck
kind of hard to
gets
describe.
jacked up,
Yeah.
And then it's like I'd say, it took a while, because I mean I was just only 24 when I got there, and so it's just different.
Babies back then.
Yeah, and like I was in the PC, I think, I don't remember exactly what, but it was over 6 years, and like by the end of it, like going on the road and doing a wrestling match, if nothing went wrong, I'd be all right. But standing in the ring for a 3-hour practice, and the ring kind of bumps up and down, and just that it kind of jars your joints, your knees and your ankle joints and stuff like that. And then early on in my career, I wore like high wrestling boots, and every time I put them on, my Achilles would get tight, and then I ended up tearing an Achilles. So I was just like, all right, no more of that.
I
But
never wore wrestling boots. That's one interesting thing.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Never.
didn't
I
even know
hated
that.
them.
Yeah.
They're just like, I
They
felt like
suck.
I was going to get injured wearing wrestling
Yeah,
boots.
they're
I always
not
wore like
performance.
amateur, like boxing style
Yeah.
boots, and they were much like more, I don't know, like they're flexible
Yeah.
and
Supportive
not as
and
awkward.
yeah, they're wrestling boots are like, they're not performance wear.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
the latest technology
Yeah.
in performance footwear. But yeah, I think by the end of it, I was pretty worn and torn from the long practices.
I
more
loved
than anything.
I loved the training at NXT. Like when I first started, obviously I was 22 or something when I got signed, and I was just so excited to be there, to like my dream had come true, and I was just starting my journey in wrestling, and it's what I wanted since I was 13 and lived in Australia and all of that, and I loved the fact that it was like this structure, and we could go to training at this time from this time to this time, and then go to the gym, and then we'd do promos, and it was just so exciting to me, like that I got to do all that, and I loved it, and I felt I was like pretty fit, like there was like a structure to it, and I felt that I was almost like ticking things off, like did I got to do well at this is next. If I do well at this, then I can try get to the main roster. Like there was always like a goal in mind and a strategy, and for me that was like enjoyable, like in my mind, like what do I have to do and how to figure it all out.
Which is great. Like they have like that mental psychology on top of like just the mental fortitude, I guess, that you have to have.
Yeah.
In order
It's interesting to me to hear you say that, because I totally understand what you're saying, but I think for me, coming from football, it was actually a slightly less structured.
Really?
In that it's just not, and it's nothing that they did, but it's just a football coach can sit me down and go, look, you were the backup this year. If you want to become the starter, you have to improve your man cover skills. You have to limit the mistakes mentally, whatever it is. He can give me 3 different things. And a wrestling coach can kind of do that, but you can kind of check all the boxes and something's still just not clicking, either with you and the audience or with you and whoever's making the decision to put you out there. And sometimes you kind of just got to, there was times where I was like, oh, I just need to do this myself. I thought they were going to teach me this. And you kind of just got to take charge and oh, I need to work on my punches at home.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's
definitely a mental game.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm not going to go work on tackling it at my couch. You know what I mean? Like I can't just
set up a bunch of pillows,
spear my roommate when he comes in. But I can just go home and punch the wall and try to get good with that. So it was just a bit of an adjustment for me to understand that.
And I'd never trained anything like you have in football.
Right,
Obviously,
so it was
for
more
me coming from independent wrestling, it was like, whoa, so cool,
Yeah. Man. And I got to talk about the names too, because and I've heard on a podcast too where someone's just like, Tenille is such a beautiful name. Like, how the hell did you end up with Emma? Where you chose right?
It sounds like the dud Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you also, I read that Randy Moss was your inspiration behind Riddick Moss.
Yep.
So I kind of want to do a deeper dive into the names, how those kind of came about, and if you guys liked them at the end of the day.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, so for me, I'll try to make this as short as possible, but when I was in high school, actually before I was in high school, I think I was in middle school, but my buddies and I just were into the early 2000s, late 90s hip hop, and so we would rap and then we would make nicknames for ourselves, and I was Mike Rallis, aka Raw Dog, and then one of my other buddies was C Diz. And so we would say Snoop with the D-O-double-G. And then one time I was just rapping and I got confused and I accidentally said the D-I-double-G. And they're like,
that was
Dig.
your first name. I forgot
Dig.
about that.
And I was like, yeah, Dig, that's what I meant to say. And so then that became my nickname throughout high school, where that's how people to this day, they still call me Dig. And then so when I got to wrestling, I was just like, let me just try this, Dig Rawls. And it got approved. And I was like, cool, that's my name. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, Hunter saw it. He was just absolutely not. It's no more like.
So how many shows did you work like that?
I don't even think I got one.
Really?
I think by the time I was working shows, I was back to Mike Rallis, and then randomly one show they were like, hey, you can't be Mike Rallis legally, and I was like, okay, I've done it 15 times already, but what do I need to be tonight? They're like, all right, you're Mike Carter tonight. And so that was me and Gable thought that was hilarious that I was Mike Carter for one night. And I was really yelling it, I got really into it and stuff. And then basically I just couldn't get a name for a while, and then they came to me with a list of names, and there was 4 names, and they were all 2 first name names. It was Garrett Graham, and I was like, dude, I can't be Garrett Graham.
That sounds kind of.
Garrett Graham's the guy who doesn't have an entrance.
Yeah.
It's just that was our joke.
That's the custom made character on 2K.
Yeah, Garrett Graham. Thank you. So anyway, then like eventually I submitted a bunch of names, and then with the help of some friends, I like Riddick came about. We're like, oh, we like Riddick, Matthews, Riddick this. And then they came back with Riddick Man, and I was like, okay, that's not bad. I think I'll take that. And then one of my buddies was like, oh, you're such a big Randy Moss fan, why not do Riddick Moss? And I was like, that's a great
That
idea.
sounds good.
And they accepted it, and I was like, done deal. And so I love that name. Like that was, it was like surreal to younger me that I was now R Moss in WWE.
Yep.
You know, like,
Yep.
it's like the crash.
Full circle moment.
Things. Yeah, exactly.
So when they changed it to Madcap, was that like?
I was on board with it.
Yeah.
Like when so I had the meeting coming back off of ACL with Vince, and I don't actually. Corbin was in there. I don't remember everyone who was in there, but explained what the character was going to be, and he said we have to come up with like a new name for. And I was like, do you want a name or a moniker? And I thought he was saying moniker, but it turned out it was like a whole new name. And so I pitched a few names, and like, you know, they were like, we don't want it to be too goofy where you can't just like be a normal, you don't need the gimmick after this. Like you can transition on from the gimmick and the name will still work. And I remember I was on the flight to SmackDown when I got a text and it said, hey, you're Madcap Moss now. And I was just like, okay, Madcap, like, I think the WrestleMania main event is probably out the window now, but you know, like whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I think this sounds fun. And then I got another text like, here's the look that we're thinking for it. But because I was on the flight, I couldn't download the pic, and so then I had that whole like 3-hour flight.
Waiting?
Going to SmackDown.
Yeah,
What
just
is
like-
this look gonna be? And then as soon as we hit the ground, I hit download, and like it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
The suspenders and everything. And then they're like, "Did you happen to have suspenders with you?" I was like, "No, I don't." Just
Nobody
bring
has
Do you have
suspenders with
suspenders in your
them.
bag?
No, I don't. But
Yes.
you know, the Madcap thing, people would often be like, "Don't worry, we'll get you out of these suspenders," and like you'll go back to Riddick Moss. Just like, just be patient. And I was like, I like Riddick Moss, but there's a lot of Riddicks. There's Riddick Bowe. There's the movie Riddick. No one, when you didn't even need to say Moss. When you said Madcap, that was like
You
people
knew,
knew.
yeah.
Like people still come up to me today and like, oh hey
Madcap.
Madcap, you know, like it's very memorable.
And the stuff you did was hilarious. Like,
And I enjoyed like, and it was like so easy for people to imitate. They could come to shows wearing suspenders. Like, it was very unique and like easily identifiable. And I mean, had an absolute
fun.
blast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
the
I
best
got
part.
to-
Is that
yeah.
seeing you
Adam
enjoying
Pearce-
it.
Yeah, Adam Pearce and I used to joke around. I do like a De Niro impression from him. And he would be on a headset, like a small NXT show, and be like, do the De Niro face towards
Yeah.
our cam. And then so, here we are on Monday Night Raw, you know, in front of 15,000 fans and millions watching at home. And I get to do some stupid thing with him where I'm going, "Whoa." And it just fit with the character.
fit,
It
yeah.
was okay. And I was just like, this is crazy that I get to do this on TV and get paid to do it. It's just so fun.
Oh yeah. Like appreciating the little things like that too, like making the most of what's given to you,
Yeah.
and all coming together. You're like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade that for anything in the
I
world.
had a blast, absolute blast doing that stuff. Sorry, I took all of that time explaining my name. What about Emma?
Yeah, my story's not even as interesting. I should have gone.
You're like,
first.
what do I say? What do I
Jeez,
say
thanks a
about
lot.
Emma?
I mean, basically, at the time it was just kind of like submit a list of names, and I think I had I don't know how many it was, say 10 names, and there was like Emma was some of them, Emma something, and then basically they just came back and said, how about just it was Emma, or the other one was Adeline. And I was like, Adeline, what the hell does that even mean? Like, what is that? But not that Emma's mean, but I just thought, it sounds like out of line, but it's a name. And I'd never heard of the name before, which I actually have heard since, and I'm like, oh, it's just a name.
Mike Rallis' name.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, back then I was like, it was foreign, and I was like, well, Emma just makes way more sense. It's like, you can chant it, you can say it. There's lots of like ways to play off the name, and so I was just like, let's just do Emma. And that's when I found all the little, you know, like Emmalution and Emmacrats were my fans, and
Oh,
like, I
that's
just had fun with it. I was like, let me just figure it out so people know my name and they can chant it and they can whatever make signs and whatever they want to do that's fun and be interactive.
So whatever happened with Emmalina?
Emelina.
The hard
Like the vignettes,
question,
the vignettes for months, and then all of a
went
sudden
there.
they were dropped.
It was a little of a letdown, right? Well,
Did you like the character? Like, did you know like what it was supposed to be?
Well, that's a little confusing, actually. I think what I imagined it was different than what the boss imagined it was.
Yeah.
and then so at the start I was kind of like, this is great. Like, I can really stand out. This is going to be something different. And then it started to be like, wait, that's not what I thought I was going to do. And then, oh my gosh, that's a little awkward. And then to the point where I was like, really not into it. Like, I'm not Emelina.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is just not me. This is not working well. And then it came to a point where that kind of came up, the conversation came up, and I was like, basically, this is me. This is the like what I can do and what we haven't really explored yet and what would be really good, and kind of like pitch that. And then that's kind of where it was like, well, yeah, let's just do that. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. So that's when it was like, you saw Emelina for a minute, and then it was like, and back to Evil Emma.
Yep.
You know, and that's when I was like, great. That's like what I'm really enjoying, was being, you know, as they called me, Evil Emma.
It was like more so like who you probably envisioned yourself being.
Yeah.
In that character.
I was, you know, a badass wrestler character, and you know, that kind of suited me well, and that's what I was enjoying. And to just be, I think Emelina almost turned into almost like a Miss America pageant queen type, like, look at me, I'm not really a wrestler, I'm just here to look good, and I was just, I think it stemmed originally from, I was posting photo shoots and things I was doing, and almost like a Instagram model type thing, but it turned into like a pageant queen, strange interest, like character that wasn't at all what I had even been doing.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, this is not
Not it.
working.
There's been like a few different character shifts. Like, this is not going to be one of them.
Yeah, it was just like not. I couldn't even really picture it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the evil Emma stuff too was going well, especially I think the evil Emma character is within context of the original Emma character.
It made
It's like,
sense.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the goofy girl gone bad.
Yeah, it was
And
like
that
my
was
alter
like-
ego.
Yeah. And
I'd
you-
had enough. No one paid attention to me. Like, now it's getting real, you know, like.
And you hadn't exhausted all of that when you
I
started
was
switching.
still in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like tried to embrace it, and then kind of was like, why don't we just like do something with what I was doing already? And that's what we went back to.
So I want you guys to eat in peace. So I'll wrap this up. I got one more thing for you specifically.
Okay.
I hear you're a freestyle rapper. And that you're really, really good at just like on the spot being a
my
freestyle
gosh.
rapper.
I
This is
can't
so
imagine
good.
who you heard this from. You must have your ear like way down in the streets. 'Cause
I,
I'm, like,
as an
underground.
interviewer and as a journalist, it's my job to figure out the stuff that nobody knows.
Quick story. After tapings at Full Sail in NXT, we would we'd all sit in the auditorium afterwards and wait for the coaches and Triple H and everybody to come in and kind of talk to everybody about how the TV went, wrap up the night. And as we were waiting, there was a group of us rapping, and right as I was
As you do.
right as I was in the middle of something, Triple H walks in, and I'm like, oh, I'll stop. And he was like, no, please continue. And so in front of everybody, I had to freestyle rap. And what I realized was I cannot do a clean freestyle rap.
Yeah.
And so
It's
like
not appropriate.
no, it's not
basically.
appropriate. And like I halfway through had to start editing myself, and it got really, really bad, and I embarrassed myself. And I think that was the end of my any potential of me becoming the next John Cena rapping wrestler. So I'm going to have to respectfully decline the offer to freestyle.
We can't afford to
Yeah.
ruin the rest of our lives.
There will be way too many cuss words. And I won't be able to edit myself properly. It's not. We would freestyle rap in cars for like 2 straight hours in NXT, and like it would make us laugh because it would get very repetitive after a while, where we would rhyme the same words, and they weren't like even common words that you would use, like strife. like we'd say like something life, and then we couldn't think of anything but strife to say because
Just like an
all we'd
emergency
said.
word.
Yeah, it was like, and so like we would end up laughing just like how much we'd rhyme strife and stuff like that.
Anyway,
really
All right.
good time. Though.
Respectfully declined.
Not gonna do the rap
Can't do
today.
it. I'm sorry, everyone.
Hey, alternate question then.
Okay.
Raw Underground. Good idea, bad idea. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed the hell out of it because it was a sprint. You know what I mean? It was like 2 minutes, super intense. The people around the ring were super into it, which beat the hell out of the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
I totally understand the criticisms, and like I don't know where it was supposed to go, and it was very weird that it's like we're fighting in the ring. Oh yeah, and then there's also this like fighting backstage that's very different. But like I thought it was awesome. Like I had so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it was.
I remember watching it and be like, "You look hot."
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah,
were together too, I was
underground.
like, "Damn, he looks good."
I was like, I was just having fun with it. I like, I yelled out the Brock Lesnar line, "Can you see me now?" After like my first like knockout or whatever it was, which like probably 3 people online picked up on, but like I just thought
You
it was
just
funny.
thought it was funny,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just thought it was funny. But yeah, it was like I think it was going well, and like I might have been able to transition it into something, but I actually tore my ACL doing
Oh.
it. So like.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't anything. It was weird because I felt it pop. I kind of kept going. There was like 30 seconds left in the fight or whatever it was, and it was a little bit sore afterwards. The next day it was quite sore, but it got a lot better the day after. And the day after that it felt pretty normal, and then it just like never completely healed for like 2 or 3 months. And then I was like, maybe I should get this looked at. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like been a little while now. Like, I remember I got the MRI and then the doctor called me and he was like, "Hey, how'd the MRI go?" And I was like, "How'd it go?" I laid down. You tell me. You have the results. He's like, "Yeah, well, you tore your ACL."
Oh,
"No,
jeez.
not very good."
Yeah. Worst case scenario. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. So, good time.
That's crazy how like in the moment it doesn't hurt that bad, but it's afterwards when you get the surgery is when you can't even
Yes.
like put any pressure on.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That
for
was,
sure.
yeah. I was hopeful that, I guess I was just telling myself lies, but like maybe because it wasn't that bad when I tore it, the surgery wouldn't be too bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was obviously horrible.
Based on no experience
Yeah.
doing it prior.
Yeah. Good times. I hope I never go through it. I'll say this. Each major injury I had, I think I had tremendous personal growth during that time. I don't want to go through it again.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
I feel like the injuries are definitely the worst part. I know you've had like multiple injuries as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just probably just the
Number
most
of shoulder
grueling
surgeries
process.
and my back, and it's
But then if you have a strong enough love for something, you always just persevere and go through it,
yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah, we all came back from them all. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just makes you stronger. You grow as a person and mentally figure out like, how to get through something and what's important to you and all those ways to be healthy and fit and everything in between. So it's worth it.
What was more fun for you, finding like your own finishing move or getting to use Santino Marella's Cobra for the time that you used it?
I loved my ditzy, bubbly Emma. I had so much fun doing that, the silly dance, if you even want to call it a dance. And then I loved being evil Emma, as they called me, and actually kind of like really wrestling for a while there. And then the Santino stuff was just a whole different thing again. And I was just, it was kind of like what you said with Corbin. It was just, everything was just so fun and funny to me at that time. And like we would like power walk to the ring and I'd be like trying not to just burst out in laughter myself. I'm like, what am I doing? But it was so fun, and Santino would just say things to me on live TV that he shouldn't be saying, and I would be trying to like hold back like laughter, and but yeah, it was like using the Cobra. At one point I had my own female version of the Cobra, and I put it on and I used it as a finisher. I think it was against Layla maybe, and I won the match. And afterwards, took it off. We celebrated, whatever, and I never saw it again. Someone in the crowd, I believe, took the Cobra, and I never
only
saw
had
it.
one?
That was one time.
Do you remember how to do it?
Yeah, so it's like this, and then like this, this, I believe.
Nice.
And then
And then that's it. One of the most over moves in pro wrestling
That
in
was
the
fun.
2010s.
Good
All right,
memories.
so you guys got the, and I'll let you eat in peace. This camera here, this camera here. What do you got going on with the YouTube channel?
So the YouTube channel is
Where to next, honey?
Which is a bit corny, but I think it describes perfectly what we're doing. We're
It's
traveling
us.
all over the place
Yeah.
as a couple, and that's the name of the channel. You can Where to Next, honey. You can subscribe there. We got a lot of cool trips coming up for this first season, and as cool as season 1 is, I think season 2, as we
have
teased
so
a little bit,
much.
might be even more epic.
Destination wedding, and I told him on our first date where we were going for our honeymoon.
Yep, so we got that.
And we're
coming
doing
up.
it.
Wow,
So
and you're
Destination
still
wedding,
here.
Honeymoon, that trip I mentioned earlier, that's like a dream trip of mine, and also a few more really cool destinations. So
Yes.
we got a lot coming up, so please subscribe.
And then my travel website too that I mentioned is bucketlosttravels.com. So that is the new website with the travel bloggers if anyone wants to follow along, and where we'll be selling the itineraries and then the custom itineraries and the group trips.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to host some travels with everyone who wants to come.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you both on the freedom, the ability to do all your own projects,
Congrats on freedom.
the wedding. Hey, freedom's huge. Like I said, I just left a job today too. I'm like, I get to do whatever I want now, you know,
Yes.
within reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was our first STK roundtable. Let's eat some steak. You know,
Let's do it.
be a friend, tell a friend. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Jack O'Hara TV.